Dylnn's personal log, 2004-04. Well, we got the money from the bank. And we all get together and just okay, what are we going to do next? As we're doing, research here, um, and looking for somebody to do some repairs and maintenance kind of stuff on our ship, badly in need of that. It occurs to us since this society here on this planet is a communist type society that the star ratings for these repair facilities are more likely star ratings with the party rather than star ratings of their quality. So we're not sure exactly how much we can trust folks to do what. Well, anyway, we get back to the ship and start doing some routine maintenance and just to see what else needs to be done. Robin knows her way around the streets, so she and I go out looking and see if we can't find, some back alley kind of repair shop that's more interested in just getting work done than what the government cares about what they're doing. Because we don't want anybody looking into our critical systems because our stuff is different. We don't belong here. So a couple weeks of downtime before we meet with Dr. Lind, and he shows up with two associates for a meet and greet. He tells us that there are pirates that are doing some mining and kind of occupying a lost colony planet. And he gives us the coordinates for us, and it's lost on the star charts. But he wants us to find out what they're doing, specifically what they're mining, that kind of thing, or why, and then take them out. They're apparently using the local population as slave labor. They've only got a 400-ton ship, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. He gives us standard supply requisition kind of stuff. We get, regular things we need, but most of the stuff that I need, I've already got. And so he also gives us some paper working for one of his companies doing some archaeological research kind of stuff, so that if we get stopped by the Carillions, we've got some kind of justification for why we're out here, or en route to going someplace, that kind of thing. So we also do some research on the quadrant here. Lotar 3 is a bug planet. Crud 2 and Elixir 5 have some kind of crustacean type people. So they've been in hostilities with the Rand Empire here, so they're pretty much blockaded out. There's also another planet, Omnicron 5, which is listed as an amber zone. Apparently it's blockaded too and has some Carillion occupation going on. Anyway, this planet is the last remains in the sector of the Kazeni Empire. Those are the cat people. So once we get done with this pirate thing, we need to start thinking about, as we follow up with finding the ship we're trying to find, the lost one, checking out these cat people thing as well. Okay, so we jump into jump into system. There are 8 planets. It's a binary. There's one planet within the habitable zone. Not quite 1 AU, but that range. Has a typical Terran type of climate. There is a gas giant there, and an asteroid belt that's closer to the gas giant than it is to the planet. So we make our scan. We do a micro jump behind the gas plant to kind of hide out, kind of thing, and use it as a background interference. And then we use the asteroid belt for cover to the planet as we do a nice slow burn in. Keep our make it less likely for us to be seen. I don't know the scientific term. But anyway, as we're doing our cruising, we've got our passive sensors out on full, and a scout ship jumps in system. So we bring it up on magnification, take a look at it. It's not running a transponder, so we figure it must be tied with these pirates kind of thing. And the ship's got English markings on it. In fact, this ship is the one that escaped the pirate asteroid we went into to take out where we found the idol and the spear and all that stuff. Where I got the Gauss rifle. More Bechtel folks. I don't know how they keep getting everywhere. Or for that matter, why we seem to run into them everywhere like we're following in trace or something. But anyway, so we see where it lands on the planet. About 10 hours later, it's taking a nice fair amount of time for us to get where we're going. Another ship jumps in, about 500 tons, more of a freighter than a fighter, and it's an alien design. As I look at it, I figure out this thing's got to be Anzaraki, from what I'm seeing here. But it lands on the planet, same place where the pirates were. 20 hours later, it leaves the planet and takes off. Instead of heading coreward, which is Anzaraki space, it heads off towards what we think would be Sakari 5, Sakari 4. And it turns out Sakari, the Corellians have been having problems with the Sakari people, so they've been trying to keep them under control. So as we near the planet, we come in, planet burn on the opposite side where the pirates are. And we find a spot near the mountains where there's, a settlement. There's a village about 15 miles from where we sit down. And the idea is infiltrate into the village, pick up some recordings of what they speak here locally. So we make some language tapes, that kind of thing, and try to help us blend in better. Plus we can, see what actually we're in here, that kind of thing. So as we're traveling towards, before we take off to the village, or gathering up our stuff, this huge cat-like thing walks across the top of the bridge paneling, and then jumps off the ship and disappears into the night. So we need to protect ourselves somewhat, but we don't want to bring a bunch of heavy gear. So there's just back and forth. Okay, how much higher tech stuff do we bring and what do we not? I just brought my dagger. I wasn't that worried about things, and I want to say that Robin was bringing her needler. That thing's pretty nasty. So, it's going to take us a day and a half or a full day where we're traveling the night. So we go out for a while, camp, then get to the village in the night, kind of thing. No, it's just an all night walk kind of thing. Start off in the evening, remember, right? Then we get, because it's nighttime by the time we get there. Anyway, as we're traveling, we're across one of these cat things again. So the size of it's like a saber-toothed tiger kind of deal. It's got 6 legs. It's got these tentacle things coming off his back, just like what the old woman on the bug planet where the SL guys found me had as her little pet. Makes you kind of wonder about what kind of seeding has been going on biologically around here. Not just here, but this section of the galaxy kind of thing. Something's going on. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Well, anyway, we finally get to the town. This kind of discussion. Okay, what do we do? Do we hide somewhere? Do we go on in? Do we talk to people? That kind of thing. Robin thinks we kind of listen near the inn, see if we can't hear stuff, and Robin thinks that she'll be able to get by with her planet's version of Halcatane here. So we'll rely on her to be spokesperson. And we say, okay, let's go into the inn, get some recordings, people close, that kind of thing. So go in, she orders dinner for us, and the innkeeper guy asks about how we're going to pay, and sure, we've got Corellian credits, but obviously, I mean local currency. But one of the new guys is portraying himself as a trader and has some luxury goods stuff to trade, bracelets, beads, that kind of thing. And he pulls out a gold chain, and Robin cuts off a piece of it, cuts off a strand to give to him. And he seems really shocked by this. We got to figure out what this whole, maybe might be gold, might be destroying property kind of thing, or what. But there's some kind of cultural issue that we're across with this thing. But as dinner dies down and people start drinking, the heavy drinks start coming out. The innkeep, pours our table, and then we get a couple of rooms for the night. Next morning, there's two breakfasts, one early for everybody else gotten work, and one late for everybody else. We come out late for the late breakfast. It's kind of busy at that time. Lots of kids around, preteens, that kind of thing, and then older folks. The really young ones are kind of staring at us. Everybody seems kind of curious. And the older folks are just talking about, daily activities, getting wool, that kind of stuff. Their daily tasks. End log. Okay, so talk about that stuff. Okay, so this seems similar to what we did with the pirate asteroid thing. Go in, bust them up, find out what they're doing, stop their operations, kind of deal. But we've got to figure out how to sneak in, because there's this whole piece of find out what they're doing before we take them out, because obviously we can't necessarily find out what they're doing after we kill everybody. But this Anzaraki thing was completely unknown, and the scout ship, well, obviously a big clue for us that it's the Bechtel folks doing this thing, but Dr. Dylnn wasn't expecting the scout ship. They've got 400 tons. So there's a 400 ton, a scout ship, plus this 500 ton Anzaraki ship that we may have to deal with at one point or another. I hope we brought enough stuff. Happy gaming.